Yeah, I can't find it. She'll have to send it to me.
Hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto City. And now, your hosts, CityGirl and PixelAddikt. Come on out.
Hey everyone,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
welcome back.
Monday night.
How you doing tonight, Greg?
Good, good. How was your American Thanksgiving? Everybody was wishing me Thanksgiving, and I'm like, it's great, thank you, and you too. And they're kind of, aren't you Canadian? I'm like, yeah, I'm Canadian, but I'll say thank you, and I won't remind you. We already had ours
Of
a few
course.
months ago, but it's nice that it was social media, right?
Absolutely. And you never need an excuse to give thanks. It's always a good time
Absolutely
to,
not.
be appreciative of the things that you have and your family and friends. I trust all of you hopefully had a good Thanksgiving as well, and that you got to spend some quality time with your family and friends. It is always nice that we have some time away from work as well. So tonight we are going to talk about POAPs. So I'm really excited about this. Something that I like to do, as most of you know here, we do them for the show every week. But
Yeah.
it's a fun topic. I mean, it's not something that's too heavy, but yet something that you can have a little fun with and be a little creative at the same time. And it's something that everybody can do, and that's what we're going to show you tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. We've known about him for years, right? And I've collected a few along your travelings in the metaverse or different shows, and glad that you guys kind of use them as a way for people to kind of stay engaged and keep the up. And
Hmm. So I'm actually going to do a live demo for you in a little bit, but before that, I'd like to, give you just a few little news bites that are out there. Everybody knows right now the market's been a little bit crazy. So I think it's a great indicator of the fact that although the market's been quite harsh for the last couple months, investors are still working actively to bring us new and improved concepts, and technology is still moving forward. A company called Game 7, which is a Web3 gaming focused DAO. If you remember, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So they just put together $100 million grant program that they're going to use to help boost blockchain enabled games by helping to alleviate some of the tech challenges that are faced in creation. There's always challenges in tech. But these grants will be given diversity, education, and research. Currently, it's going to be supported by Polygon, Solana, Immutable, and Arbitratum, but those blockchain ecosystems. But there is future plans for expansion over the next coming months. What do you think about that? I mean, the market's going one direction, but everybody's still moving forward. Nobody's running away.
no, and like I said, like we've always looked for projects that have strong blockchains. Like Polygon is just on fire now because it's an L2, right? It means like a lot of the fees and a lot of the congestion that's on Ethereum doesn't exist on Polygon. So a lot of
Mhm.
same with you mentioned Immutable X and like those are different blockchains that are just faster, right? They're built for speed. They're built for these NFTs, and it's good that there's a lot of educational projects that come that need funding, right? That you need because these are engineers. Like you can't just get normal coders or normal kind of. It's not even about designers at this point. It's all about engineers coding the smart contracts. The last thing you want are like hacks. The big thing we hear
True.
about crypto a lot is hacks on blockchains or hacks on projects, and having the funding allows them to hire the right kind of really studied engineers and studied kind of code mathematicians and cryptologists to kind of come in and develop a lot of these projects. So it's exciting the way that they're moving the whole industry, right?
Absolutely. I love the fact that, you know, the everybody is not backing away from these challenges. They're taking them head on. They're coming up with new creative ideas, and they're building better. Like you're saying, we're just we're getting stronger blockchains and better foundations. And the more they keep coming up with these new ideas, the stronger the next wave is going to be. So I think it's wonderful. I'm excited for it. I every day I look for what's new today. It's an exciting time
And
that we're living in.
for sure. And you can see too, it moves really quick. And you can see now that a lot of the brands are starting to hire like Web3 consultants, Web3 kind of people to come into the company to look and see whether it's kind of viable for them to kind of embed it into the project that they're working on. Or if it's gaming, then, like Miggy was talking about, and different NFTs and different value that comes within the gaming industry. Well, now brands can gamify, right? Like you can have like the rewards. McDonald's always does, like the gaming stuff, right? Well,
Oh,
now a lot of these brands they can do stuff in the metaverse. Imagine bringing, international audiences in different worlds, such. I think that's way better marketing than, hey, click on this link and visit my website. Like we've been doing for, for a long time now. So we're getting
yep.
forward, I guess.
We just keep moving forward, which is amazing. Kind of in line with that too. Some of you may have heard that there's a Web3 social app called Diamond, which was locked on the DSO blockchain, and it's kind of a basically a decentralized Twitter platform. It's like a Twitter alternative. So when Twitter was having all of its little rumbles and stuff, everybody's
Hmm.
like, what's going on over here? Let's check out Diamond. And so it's the only blockchain social, basically, that enables all the content in its social app to be stored on chain. And it basically allows openness and transparency on all the social media. It even has a blogging feature built into it, which is pretty exciting because, you can basically move everything seamlessly on it because of the way that everything is stored and everything is open source. The best feature about it, though, is originally people were saying, it was going to cost, and there was an interview done recently, and they said it would cost about $50 to store a 200 character tweet on the Ethereum blockchain. And obviously, I mean, that's just not feasible. And it was
Right.
about 15 cents to do it on Solana, but or Polygon as well. But in contrast, the DSO blockchain, it's 1/10,000th of a cent to do that, which makes it like the first blockchain capable of disrupting storage heavy applications for like social media and blogging and marketplaces. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so when it comes to like NFTs and like these decentralized projects, some of them want to have their storage decentralized. So they'll use something like Pinata or like AR Weave, and those are decentralized cloud kind of services, right? So you can upload your NFT so that you're not holding them on a server, so that everybody sees them publicly. But like you said, City, the weight becomes a problem, right? The heaviness of
Mhm.
a lot of the files. So there are blockchains now, like you mentioned, that are doing like there's a thing called proof of storage. So it actually kind of matters, how much data kind of, and they're starting to use, like you said, these algorithms that shrink down all the capacity so that it'll fit within like it's just these engineers are getting so smart of how they develop the blockchain and how they develop these
Mm.
applications that run on them. So now we're starting to see like use cases, right? So yeah, it's exciting when you hear stuff like that.
For sure. I mean, and I'm sure, Twitter is Twitter. Whether, some people saying it's going away, some people saying it's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be people looking for something else. Here's an alternative.
Well, the problem with having a decentralized kind of social network, obviously, the reason we don't have one, like it's 2022, 23, there's a reason. It's because it'll get crazy. It'll just get it'll get insane. Like
Chaos,
people will be able to post
anarchy.
whatever you want, and who's gonna monitor that, and who's gonna so there's a lot of like Bitcoin doesn't have a central authority. There's a bunch of nodes and there's a bunch of people that are developing for it, but same with Ethereum, but like you're not gonna ask Vitalik Buterin, the creator of the blockchain, like, hey, what about this photo that this person put? Same with Elon.
Right.
Elon's got a massive problem, right? Just like Twitter has. Like it's an issue of billions and billions of data and all these different
Mm.
images and videos and just to monitor that and then hate speech and everything else that we don't want them on there. But it's freedom of speech versus centralized authority of we all have to be a good
Mhm.
society. We can't have some of that garbage kind of, influencing kids or influencing politics. Like that's a hard job. Facebook, for that everybody likes to point fingers at the, Zuck and Elon and that. Hey, who wants that job? Like it's not easy.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's like that with everything in life. So it's not any different. Everything. So
Yeah.
the last little thing that I wanted to chat about was that Bit Basil's coming up this week. So for those of you who
Okay.
don't know, this is Miami's Art Week, which is it's actually a really big thing down there. It takes place in Wynwood. Wynwood is one of my personal favorite places to visit in the U.S. There's this really pretty graffiti art district down there. And so there's a week where they celebrate all types of art, and Bit Basil is one of the programs that runs simultaneously at this down there. But what's really cool is there's going to be a lot more experiences down there right now that are involving Web3, 3D, holoportations, augmented reality, and all types of metaverse and virtual reality artwork at these exhibits. Digital fashion, which we talk about, that's a big topic down there right now. And, pretty much anyone who's down in Florida who's never been, if you're close enough to go to Miami, I mean, it's really hard to get tickets. It's super expensive
Right.
to get in there. But if you're
Yeah.
in that area and you can't make it this year, definitely, think about it for the future. It's worth checking out. It's worth going at least once. If you can't make it to Bit Basil, you can check things out on their Facebook, on their website, Instagram, all of that. And
Mhm.
if you aren't able to make it down there for Art Week, you can always go to Wynwood and see all of the beautiful images in the art district. There's some beautiful exhibit halls to get in down there, as well as many of the buildings there are also painted very beautifully.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love when the really creative artists, have those physical installations and they merge it with technology, they merge it with new kind of stuff of engaging their communities, engaging fans and promoting their work. Like the creative stuff you can see now kind of online and those artists, I love that. I love when they come up with new stuff and really kind of we push together as a community. It's beautiful to see.
Absolutely. The vibe down there is just it's amazing. And I feel like, people who are into art, it's kind of like people who like dogs. You've got like a good person. Artists, like people who are there to actually enjoy the art, they're
Right.
paying attention to how cool each art piece is, what people have done creatively. They're
Yeah.
they're spending their time focused on that. So even though, you might have all these different walks of life coming together, everybody is there for the common goal.
Hey, I'm so excited. Like that digital art is so big now. I remember, like
Mm.
back in the day, like it was all about artistic and oil paintings and that. And when I was a kid, I got to be honest, I didn't like it. I thought impressionism and like old kind of, I love Van Gogh, right? I was really big into
Oh,
Van Gogh and other, traditional. But once digital art came, I was like Photoshop and that. I'm like, wow. And then
so
now
fun.
Blender and all these. Now you see all this digital art where I'll talk about code. So I'll meet an
Mm.
artist and we'll talk about what code he uses and what platform and like what tools and I'm blown away about the technical side of art. And people
Oh
are like,
yeah.
"Are you an artist?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a designer. Like I do like these Photoshop composites and I can do all, but I can't draw a stick puppy. You love dogs, but I can't draw a puppy. Like the worst, the worst." Uh,
That's so funny. And honestly, now that AI art has become like such a big thing. I mean, I don't know if,
Heaven
you guys
heaven.
haven't downloaded an app yet on your phone or on your computer for AI art, you need to do it because it's the best waste of time you'll ever do,
Oh
because
yeah.
you sit there and you lose time, but you're creating these beautiful images. You're putting in keywords and getting back random images. I mean, sometimes you can be super specific and get an image that looks exactly like what you were looking for. Other times you give it a little bit more like artistic leeway, and you get these incredible images. Sherwin, who's here in our audience, he has a club that he did recently, and all the images on the wall are all AI art, and they're just eye-catching and beautiful, bright imagery. And you can put in any topic, and there's so many different programs out there now doing it that you can put in. I want black dogs on a street corner in Paris in, abstract art. and it will spit something out, and you're like, ah, not quite what I wanted. You put it back in and you say, do it in impressionism, do it in finger paints, and you get all these images coming back like that. So every single person in this room gets to be an artist. It's amazing. It's so cool.
I love it. I love it.
And you
And those
download
rabbit
them and you can make them into NFTs if you wanted to. You can do
oh,
whatever you
and
want with them.
those rabbit holes go so much deeper, right? Like the different platforms
Absolutely.
and merging them together. And I'm into the videos now where it's like AI generated art, but it's motion. Then you can use that
Nice.
art. And then I'm finding guys that are doing it in VR. So they're bringing that AI generation into VR. Like, so you
Mm.
can have a world that is like created and yeah, Pink Floyd, watch out. All those different, so have some good
I'm
experiences. It'll
seeing
be
this.
fun.
This could be an episode. I could see you. You might need to bring on some of your friends so that we can see the stuff that they've been creating. I think that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. AI is such a deep kind of, and I'll actually bring on guys that work with machine learning and that computer vision and AI itself, right? That can talk about some of that tech, but make it fun where it's artistic. So yeah, I'll find
Mhm.
somebody. That would be a great. I think that'd be a great topic, a great week where bring on show the tech
Sure.
behind it and then show maybe the blockchain kind of them selling it as NFTs, right? Because there are some rules, right? Everyone knows you can't just
Mhm.
create something in AI and then sell it because the way that that AI gets generated is using other people's work. So now what they're starting to
Absolutely.
do is
Mhm.
they're locking that down now. They're making it so that if it's going to generate off the weight, it's only going to be copyrighted stuff or a specific field, but that's fun. That's,
Mhm.
so we'll get into it.
Absolutely. And some of the programs actually allow you to upload your own image and put in keywords to have it modify the image too. So you could have a photograph of yourself or a loved one or your dog or anything, and you could upload it and you could modify that image and make that a new creation, which is kind of fun
Yeah.
too. I've done that a couple times. Sometimes I will say the weirdest thing about AI art is that there's no beautiful faces. The faces are either wonky or they look like motion, but there are no beautiful faces in AI art. So they got to work on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the prompts and like you can adjust it, right? You can, like you said, you can keep on adding iteratives and different kind of
Mhm.
it can train. So if you train it the right
Fine
way,
tune.
I have seen some beautiful kind of where they're merging cyborg with like girls and cyborg with men, so you can find these new creations of avatars, right? We're into avatars now, and I think I like
Absolutely.
cyborg. I like cyberpunk. I'm really into all this vaporware and the color scheme. So I like creating all this AI stuff, and then yeah, we'll see what we can do with it later.
Love it. Can't wait to see more. This is amazing. So back to POAPs. Let's talk a little bit about POAPs before we do our demo.
Okay.
So No, just so everybody knows, when we do the demo tonight, we're gonna do it live on the screen, so you'll be able to see. Uh, pray that we have no AltSpace connection issues, but everything hopefully will go well. Um, if you aren't able to, don't worry about like taking notes while we're doing it up on screen because I'm going to put a whole little cheat sheet basically for you in our Discord. So afterwards, I'll put that in there. It'll have the links to the different sites that I'm going to show you on here that I use
Yeah,
when I'm creating the POAPs. It'll also have some, step-by-step notes to walk you through it. So, don't worry about, I'm trying to take notes while you're going. I'll put that up there for you to see afterwards, and then you guys can kind of download that and have a little cheat sheet of your own. And hopefully, you might see something that you like here and want to create some for your own events down the road. And you'll have the knowledge on how to do it, and you'll be able to maybe you add some utility into it as well.
for sure. Sure. So why don't we start with you can give an intro kind of what these POAPs you've been using them kind of more than I have. I'm aware of the tech in the background, and we'll talk about the blockchain and where they all kind of create from. But you've got experience
Sure.
using them for events and sending them out. So what has it been like for you?
So first of all, POAP, POAP, it stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. If you haven't seen them before, they are little round circles that basically it's a commemorative badge of being at an event. Now, Sometimes these can be fun events that you've gone to, like it could be, a in the metaverse concert. It could be this event right here. Hopefully, you find this fun. Um, but it could also be, they could be used to prove that you were at a work event or that you attended a seminar, something along those lines as well. It's similar to in the old days if you went to a concert or you attended an event and got a ticket, like say it was a sporting event, you walked in, they took your ticket, they ripped it off, and they gave you back your stub. Well, that stub, like a lot of people used to save them to say,
Right.
on August 8th, I went and saw the Rolling Stones, or I went and saw, the Slipknot, or whoever you went and saw in concert. You would keep that, and that would be just like a little memento. Well, these function similar to that. So what you can do is like what we've been doing over the last few weeks. If you've been coming, you know that we're holding a contest right now. People
Hmm.
who are in it because you had to be here that night when we launched it, and you're collecting POAPs from then until the end of the year. And for the people who collect all of them, they will end up getting an NFT. So it's basically now it's turned into a little bit of a contest in a game. Collect the POAPs, you have proof that you have them, and we can tell that you've gotten them because I can see that you've redeemed it. And then, you're able to, turn that in and say, hey, here's my 8 POAPs. I want my NFT. So, you can do it as all these different little options that you have with it. Now, the thing is with a POAP, it's a type of NFT, but it's a little different than a regular NFT in that it's limited in its uses, but there are a lot of back end uses that you can do with it. It
Hmm.
also, you can, like these ones that you get from us, you can have these NFTs without having a digital wallet. You don't have to have a wallet to download them. And these particular ones are free. So because they're free, you actually don't need to have any cryptocurrency to get these either. So that makes
Right.
it a little bit easier for people who aren't actually actively involved right now to, dabble in it a little bit, get to feel it, see what it's like. This is how go on, you put in your email address, get this POAP generated for you, you get an email and it shows you that you've got this little commemorative badge, but it says to you on it, this is ready to be minted when you're ready. So that means if you do have a wallet, certain wallets you can download POAP into. Now, they don't go into every wallet, but they do go into some of them. And
Right.
some of the more popular ones like Ledger, MetaMask, those ones you can download them into. But what happens is that you can open up the link. Say you get your first POAP and you claim it. When you claim it, it's sitting there. It's waiting for you to mint it. If you mint it, you can mint it and then view it in these different apps that are created for it. If, for example, what I do is I will collect all my POAPs for a chunk of time, and then I will download them all into my wallet all at once. And I can open up my phone on my smartphone. I can go
Hmm.
into the POAP website and I can click on it, and it will say, "Here are your POAPs that are still sitting here on the website." And I'll see them all, and it looks like a bunch of little circles with all the different weeks of the ones that I've collected, whether it was from here or a different event that I went to.
Hmm.
Once I've claimed it, it's there. Once I mint it, I move it into the wallet. And right now I have all of mine in Ledger. Now, when I go into my Ledger wallet, I don't actually see them sitting right there. I have to actually access them in a special way. But that's a
Yeah.
topic for another episode. This is more
Sure.
about creating the POAP. But there is a lot of utilization that you can do with
Yeah, absolutely. I love that city that you keep your POAPs on your ledger. Like that is just the best security. Everyone should just be like, that's the bar, okay? Like just these little digital assets she gets, she protects them enough to put them on a hardware wallet. That's protect, that's awesome. So, so first of all, like let's go back to maybe like 2015, okay, like
Mhm.
where Ethereum was already kind of going, and so people were building projects on top of Ethereum and making their own ERC20 token, right? So a lot of these tokens are all built, and Gnosis is Gnosis. That's the name of this blockchain that POAP is kind of built on. So Gnosis it's a prediction market. So if anybody kind of understands, a lot of people, gambling, I guess, would be a side of a prediction market where two people think, you know when event is going to happen. So what Gnosis did is they created a place, a decentralized place where, if you thought a baseball game, or if you thought somebody was going to win, NASA, if it was going to rain or something provable, and as long
Mhm.
as the information was provable, like in real life, where there was, like let's say who won the presidency, who won like certain kind of events, so who's going to win a
Is
soccer
results.
match. Right. It's factual results. And they built it so that people could, like start these, and it was crypto and decentralized, and it was really good with tokens, but they built it in a sense where they kept the balance. So they keep the
Okay.
balance. That's why you're able to create a project like POAP and deliver all of these different tokens and not pay anything. It's because the way the blockchain tokens that pay for that fee.
Okay.
So Ethereum, Ethereum, when you move one token to another wallet, you have to pay a gas fee for that blockchain.
Yes.
Now, the way that Gnosis is built, there is no gas fee, there is no fees, kind of. They'll just move those, but it is a centralized. OAP is a centralized company. It's an ecosystem. So that's why you can move from that centralized, download it into the decentralized wallets like
Mhm.
MetaMask and that. So those are ways of, moving the POAPs, like you said, from that ecosystem over to maybe you want to sell it. So there's Adidas and Nike and all of these do have POAPs. Like if you come to certain maybe like digital events, if you paid a subscription or if you paid an NFT, if you bought an NFT for $1,000 and that gave you access to a party, in that party they give you POAPs. And if you have those POAPs, some of those might become valuable where you could sell them on a marketplace. And that's kind of where the creative the technology, that's where that kind of flows in.
Combining it with the collectible. Great.
Yeah.
So that's the basis of what POAPs are and what we use them for. Like I said, there is more utilization that can be incorporated into it. If you Google it, you'll find all types of information on there. That we might discuss that in a show down the road, a little bit more detail of how to incorporate it into something that you might be doing. But I would imagine for the most part, if you've not created them before and you've not used them before, the best way to use them right now would be if you're having an event. You want to give out something to everybody as a little reminder. And you can see the image that's up here on the screen right now. This is the one we're going to use to create tonight's POAP. So, there are very strict rules when you're creating the POAP. Creating it is not difficult. You just have to follow the rules because there's a governing body over the POAP creation. And so basically, they want to make sure that people aren't just creating tons of garbage. You need to
Right.
prove that your POAP is actually worth something. And when I say worth something, I don't mean dollar wise. I mean that you legit had an event and that you're giving this out to people to commemorate that event or for a purpose, for a contest, or whatever it is.
Hmm.
There are certain regulations and rules that you have to follow. They have to fit a certain size. They have to be unique. So you cannot create this image here, like we're going to use up here. You cannot take that and use that every single week and just change the date. They won't let you. They kick it back. And if it's kind of funny because you would think in this day and age, all this stuff would just be being done, automatically through computer systems.
Hmm.
No, I got a phone call from a person who was like, "What are you doing? You can't use the same image again." And I was like, "Huh? Who are you?" And they're like, "I'm calling from POAP and blah blah." And I was like, "What?" Like I was so confused. So it was a little bit strange. But they are actually looking at them. And so the other thing is that you actually have to have some sort of a website or a place to direct
Right.
people. So, for example, when I create the POAPs for here, now obviously we have a website, we have a website for Crypto City, but the website I'm using when I create these, which is perfectly fine to use, is I'm using our YouTube channel because when they go back, they can see that
Check.
weekly we are doing an event. And here's proof of it. Here's the videos. You think this is just some silly little picture I'm trying to push out. No, no, no. Come see. Here's our show. And they love that. They want as much detail as possible. Now, the other end of that is that when you go in and you create this, you ask them for a certain amount of links. Now, the first time I created one, I was like, yeah, yeah, give me 100 links. I didn't know. I was like, all right, yeah, just, I thought they would just send me some code. I'm going to plop it in, you know, and they were like, why do you need 100 links? And I was like, I don't know. Like, do you have 100 people show up? I'm like, no. They're like, well, then you don't need 100 links. You need to have them relative to your crowd. And they
I
actually
see.
do check it out and see what's going on there. It kind of, they're not, it's not as strict as, like Big Brother is watching kind of thing, but they are, there are people who are there to monitor what you're doing.
Protecting their
If
platform. Yeah, of
you, yeah, well, and they're trying to keep it clean too. I mean,
course.
imagine if, every time you went out to the store, you liked, the pink lollipops in the package, but they come with all the other colors. So you buy the whole big bag and you throw the rest of them in the cabinet and just eat the pink ones. Eventually, you've got a cabinet full of things that's just junk. So what they do sometimes too, and this just happened recently to me, was they sent me an email and said, you have a bunch of unused links out there right now. So I did an episode, got a bunch of links, didn't utilize them all. They've now come to a time frame where they say, okay, they're no good. They're sitting out there not used. We're going to purge them. Now, when you create the POAPs, and you're going to see this shortly, the claiming time frame is only 30 days. So when you
Okay.
create it, you hold your show. So tonight is our show,
Mhm.
and I'm going to create the POAP tonight. You're going to actually see it be created. They won't be available till tomorrow, but usually I hand them out the next day, anyways. What happens is it puts in today's date as the start date, and it puts in 30 days from now as the end date.
Right.
During that time frame, you guys, send me, hey, can I have the POAP link? I didn't get it yesterday. Okay, here you go. I send you the link. If you don't claim it after 30 days, it's gone. So it's only good for a short amount of time. They want to keep the integrity of what it is you're doing. You're
That's good.
creating this,
Yeah.
you came to it, claim your POAP, move on. Instead
Right.
of just having like all these stragglers out there. It's not like a gift card where when you get a gift card and you don't use it and 3 years later you find it in the back of the cabinet and you're like, oh, want to go to the 99? Like it's not like that. These are meant to be utilized and claimed right away.
Well, and here's the best part is that cities, it's the collection of these. So you can collect a few, but I love this contest you're having, and I think it's going to be Metadie and my man William back there. I think William's gonna, I think they're
Absolutely.
gonna have to make them fight in the middle of the, stage here digitally. But I think, if you collect these, like if you show value that you collected them after a week, it incentivizes us as brand to give that gift, to give an NFT, to give
Exactly.
some like a special, unique kind of gift to make them feel like, okay, like I came and supported you for these weeks. I have this POAP. Now you're
Mm,
gonna. I think that's way better for a brand to give as a gift to raffle instead of trying to do other kind of online contests or something. I think collect these POAPs, show us support, and you get these nice experiences.
absolutely.
So
It's a good engagement program. I like it.
sure,
So what do you think? Should we get to it? Should I create this?
absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
I am going to be doing this on my laptop for you. So I am going to put my controllers down, and I am going to, my I'm possessed a little bit, but it's only because I need to see my laptop in order to do this. And barring any unforeseen AltSpace glitches, we should be good. So the first thing you need in order to create a POAP, so we're going to look over here at the screens. Um, the first thing you're going to need is an image, obviously. So I typically create my images in Canva. So this here is an image I created in Canva. You don't know this program, it's free. Anybody can use it. And I just want to, I create these in Canva, and they're simple. You can upload your own imagery. You have all these backgrounds, you have logos. I don't know if you tell, but as I'm rolling my mouse over, each item is highlighting because you create each individual thing. This is a free program. And when you're utilizing it, you can go here to where it says share, and it gives you the option to download it. So when you download it, you have different options. Depending on how you created the document, you can download it as a video, a JPEG, a PNG, a PDF. I suggest that you will want to create it and save it as a PNG. It'll be the best quality at the lowest file size that you can reutilize when you're creating these. This program, Canva, by the way, I use it for the POAPs. I use it for a lot of marketing. So if you're not familiar with it, get it. It's free. You can do a ton of stuff in it. Right. So you would download it and save it as a PNG. Now, I have already downloaded and saved it on my system to try and save a little time for us. One thing you need, and you remember I said it has to be a circle. So I'm going to take you to, let's see. Let me take you to my crop a circle page. Now this link, remember I said I'm going to put this in Discord for you so you'll have it. This here allows you to crop a circle in a crop an image into a perfect circle, okay? This is so important because when you upload to the POAP site, it has to fit within their circle dimensions or it crops it. And the first one I ever did, I cut off some very important information that was on it. So you want to create it. And once you create your first one, you'll kind of be able to see where your dimensions belong, because you'll do trial and error, because before you upload it, you can do this a bunch of times. So let's upload our image. And I'm going to go over to my desktop and I'm going to upload my image. And you're like, oh no, it doesn't fit. Well, they do give you a little bit of leeway here. So you expand this out. Just drag this out. So see, now everything fits inside of this circle. Started as a square, everything's inside the circle now. I'm going to hit crop circle. And now I have a perfect circle here. And I'm going to download this image. Okay. So these links, again, will be in the Discord. These programs, Canva and this crop a circle, all free. You don't have to pay for anything. Now we're going to go over to the POAP page. Now this is the POAP page. Oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Right here. This POAP page is the page that everybody, 99.9% of the people are using right now to create POAP. This is simple, straightforward, free to everybody once again. So you're going to go down about halfway on this page. The beginning's just a little intro as to what a POAP is. Come down, you can read it. What's a POAP? Why use a POAP? You get to right here where it says create your first POAP. It doesn't matter if you've created one or you've created 50 of them. You're still clicking on create your first POAP. That treats them all individually. It's not like you are sitting here with an account and they're saying, hey, you already created one. It's always this link. So create your first POAP. And this page is going to load up. Okay. Now, I do have a little cheat sheet that I'm going to work from because I don't want to have to type in everything because it takes a little bit of time. But one thing you want to do is pay attention to the details. What I suggest is create a Word document or a notepad document. If you're on a MacBook, use your notes app. Okay. So you can type this stuff, save it, and each time paste the same information in and just tweak certain things like the dates and who was on the show or what the topic was. Okay. So for this one, we are going to put in Crypto City, episode 7, meeting, POAP, 11, 28, 22. Okay. So that each week I put that in and I'd say what I'm actually doing. Over here where it says, what do you want people to remember about this drop? Now, this was one of the things that I was on the phone with the POAP people for quite a while about, because they were like, you really need to put some detail into this. It can't just be a talk show, a concert, a sporting event. You need to put the information in there about what it was. I'm just going to open this up real quick and copy and paste this. And come back over here and paste this in. Now, this is my generic. You guys not seeing this? Hold on one second. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay, sorry, didn't realize it wasn't up. Okay,
Good.
so
There
the
it goes.
first part here, you see here it says Crypto City episode 7. And now the second part here, it says Crypto City is a weekly talk show on Monday nights in AltSpace VR, focused on educating and sharing experiences in Web3, crypto, NFTs, and utility. The show is hosted by CityGirl with special guest host PixelAddikt. The episode on, and now I put in the date. So today is 11/28/22, and discussed blank. And I'm going to put in how to create a POAP and included. And sometimes this would be like if we had Miggy on the show or we had Metadie on the show, we'd say included, a special appearance by a specific guest. This time it's going to say included live demo. Okay. So you have to have enough information in there to tell them what it was and what it was about and why it happened. Now, virtual drop, because it's happening here in AltSpace. It's not in a physical place, but if you were going and doing this at a physical place, you would have the information here of the city and the country. The start date. So today, just scroll this down a little bit. Today's the 28th, and see it automatically puts in the expiration date, telling me I've got 30 days to capture this. Now, choose, do we have a website? Okay, so now the website, let me open up my website and copy this over. Okay, now the website I'm putting in here, remember, is our YouTube channel. That way, when the POAP regulatory people look at it, they're going to go to that and they're going to say, oh, okay, here it is. It's a legit event. We're letting this go through. Now, the artwork, I'm going to choose my file. Remember that we took the square image and we made the square image into a round circle. Make sure when you upload, that you are using your round circle file. Okay. Now you see here, it says modified. When you use that website that I showed you about how to make the round circles, it will always come back to you as a file, the original file name -modified. That way, make sure when you're uploading your round circle, you're uploading modified. Okay. Now, what is your email? This is super important because this is how you're getting your POAP link sent to you. Okay. So we're going to put in CryptoCityVR@gmail. Now, how many links do I need? Okay. So in general, now that I've been scolded and I've been told how I'm supposed to do it properly, I will look around the room and I will say, how many people do I have here tonight? This is why I do it usually after the show, so that I know how many I might need. I'm going to look around the room and I'm going to say, okay, 12 people. So I'm going to ask for 15. Because when I look around the room real quick, sometimes I'm looking at the audience and I forget that I want one. Pixel will want one. Blue will want one. We'll want to have the full extras for the crew as well. So I add a couple on there. And then I do not ever check private drop. Leave it as a public drop so it goes through faster and so that people can search and see things if they ever wanted to. I am okay with that. They can't claim it. They can just see it. So now you're going to hit save. Just make sure before I do that, okay, everything is here, filled everything in, and I'm going to hit save. Typically, it will pop up and it'll say drop submitted, and it asks you, it's going to say to expedite the curation body review, just in case you thought I was kidding about them reviewing it. You can fill out this form with additional info. I no longer fill out that form because I have now talked to them about what to fill out on the actual form. So I say no thanks. Now it pops me back to this main screen, and you can see right here, Crypto City episode 7, creating a POAP. That's the most recent one that has been submitted to them. This is going to drop off the page probably within a half hour, people, because people all over the world are using this site. And
Mhm.
what's going to happen now is I will actually get, let's see if I can show you this. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm going to try to show you. If I go over to my Google Drive, and I go to my Gmail, I'm going to switch users and pull up Crypto City. I'm going to show you this in a second. I just don't want to drop the link yet. So go here and go. Hopefully it'll link right over. Okay, boom, there you go. All right. So right here, it says new POAP drop created. So you immediately get the recognition that you created it. So if you create one and you don't see this come through right away, you definitely want to, like, say, okay, maybe I didn't submit properly, because you should get that right away. And what'll happen is that typically, you open it up, it says, hooray, you created a new drop, you requested 15 links, they're reviewing it, here's our drop policies, and there's a little symbol of what it should look like. If this looks wrong, then you did it wrong, and you've got to start over, and you're going to have to use a new image. So that's why you want to make sure it sits perfectly inside that circle. And that's pretty much it. Now I sit and I wait until I get an email from them, and I can show you what one looks like from last week. Let's see. Your POAP mint links are here. It will send me this. This is the one from last week where we talked about utility. And if I scroll down, I have these little links here that are text links. This is showing perfect. These are what I copy and paste and send to all of you when you request POAP. It's just a URL. Each one is unique. So I cannot send this one link to all of you. Each one of you gets an individual link. You take that, you click on it, it takes you to a website, you claim your POAP, you're done. You have a wallet, you want to mint it as well, you mint it, you move the wallet, and then you're done. And that's it. It's that simple to create. You just have to make sure you are doing everything correctly and that you follow the protocol guidelines. And that's it. That's all you have to
City,
do.
thank you so much. I swear, like everyone in this room now, they appreciate POAPs just a little bit more. Like now, actually, to know how much time it takes you to create them and make them, put them up, send out the links. So I think we'll create maybe like an MRE something for Crypto City, where if you guys want one, you can put your email in, and we'll just automatically kind of send them to you. I really think you should collect them, because I think we should start offering like bigger prizes or bigger gifts, right? Like really, I love this system, and you explained it amazingly. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I really want people to enjoy them. I want you to have fun with them at your own events. I mean, I see a few of you out here that I know host events, or that you're part of a team that hosts events. You should be giving these away at your events for people, that they can be like, oh, I got this really cool thing. And then people, like you were talking about before, when people are excited about something, they learn it better. So if they're like,
Yeah,
oh, I want to do this, and they go and they claim now without even realizing it, they think they just claimed this digital image. They claimed an NFT. Now, even though they don't know anything about NFTs, they own one. So it's kind of a really cool way to get your feet wet with it.
absolutely. And you guys, if you go to our Discord, like go to our Instagram, the city has created this link tree that has our Discord in there. In there, we're going to put videos to show people how to move it from, these POAP kind of ecosystem over to your MetaMask, and some of them kind of, start collecting them. And great that, to see them on your website, to know the ones you
Mhm.
collected, kind of have that utility. So yeah, I think it'll be great.
Definitely. We have lots of big things planned. So
Good
definitely follow
stuff.
our social media, and definitely go onto the link tree and check out our Discord, our YouTube channel. If you missed these episodes, you can go back and
Yeah.
watch them. To be honest with you, we enjoy doing this with you. We want you to learn. We enjoy answering your questions. And I'm learning from Pixel every single time he comes on the show because he's got all the technical end of it. And, maybe he learns a little social end of it from me.
No, I learned that you like Slipknot and that you like puppies. So I learned that we just don't know what city's gonna, put up into these projects. I don't know all the wisdom, and I know you bring all of it to it. So it's awesome.
I love it. Do we have anybody out there who has any questions on POAPs? If you have a question, you can reach down and click on the raise hand feature, and Blue will give you access to ask your questions.
Now you won't get access to cities, obviously, high level POAP administration, direct email. I love, but that's good. That just shows that you're involved in that ecosystem. They know you have events, you give out POAPs, it's great. So
Mhm.
yep.
We have a question or comment from William. Go ahead, William.
Hey, so City, great job. I think you did an amazing
For
job
sure.
of
Oh,
making
thank
that
you.
really easy and simple. Um, I
Thank you.
guess the only thing I would ask, I think there's probably people here that don't know how to download them in a wallet. I think you should do one that says, okay, now that you have a POAP, this is how you download one into a wallet.
Yeah, the
That
I
was what
think
I
problem
we
was
with
will
that
trying
do
to
though,
that.
do.
it's harder though. I'll be honest though,
I know.
it is a process. Yeah, it's about MetaMask, but it's you have to add this blockchain to MetaMask. So for it to recognize that this POAP, then you have to transfer it from the POAP to your wallet, and the wallet has to. So the instructions are a little bit more technical, but we'll definitely put them on Discord and show a video of someone doing it. So
Would you
Yeah, I
be
think it would
open?
be helpful to have a video.
Would you be open to talking to me about this offline? Because I found an easy way to do it. City, I teach kids this kind of stuff,
Mhm.
and I
Absolutely.
found a
Yep.
very easy way to teach people how to do it. So if
ooh,
you're open to talking to
absolutely,
me about it
Absolutely.
yeah, man.
offline, I'd love to do that.
Oh, there's tools,
Absolutely.
right? There's tons of tools out there, and we can't follow. You can't follow all of them.
I
So
know,
if you
I
found
know.
something, for sure, man, we'd appreciate the help and the insight.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thanks.
But I do
City, just
agree
shoot me
that,
an email when you're
I
ready.
will. I will definitely. I do think it's something that requires more of a video, and unfortunately, with my avatar hands, I can't show you my smartphone and and do a video of me connecting it to my wallet ledger on my computer at the same time. In within this confine, we can do it offline and post a video up, or find a video and put it up for you as well. It'll be a little bit easier to do. It's easier for me to show you stuff that's on my computer here on the screens that we have, but not to show you what I'm physically doing with my hands with my little ledger wallet, my little ledger, so that you can see what the screen looks like, things like that. Because I'm using the ledger, like you said, there's MetaMask, there's other wallets that you can use.
Yeah,
So it does depend on what you have too.
yeah, but I'm also not going to let you put your ledger on a video for the internet.
No, no,
So
no,
that's
no.
not
Of
going to
course
happen.
not. Yeah, no, not with you, of course. No, it would be. It would definitely be more secure than that. I keep my
I love my
POAPs in a
friends. Like, my
ledger. I'm
friends
clearly
really
secure.
safe.
Next up, we have Metaday. Hey, Metaday. Hey, City Girl. Great show this
Hey,
evening.
thank
My
you.
question is, now I know that you mentioned that when you was creating the POAP, you put it to public because it didn't matter who looked at it. So my question to you is, whose POAP have you looked at, if you have? And on top of that, if you have looked at some POAPs, what was the
Mhm.
most unique POAP you have ever seen?
Okay, so I've definitely looked through them because when I was learning to create them, I wanted to see what others wanted it to be exciting. The very first one I created was the most boring, and I was so embarrassed after I saw everybody else's. I didn't realize that, I thought I was literally putting information up there with a logo, and that was it. So it looked like a boring
Hmm.
CD label. Um, so I started scrolling through, and I was looking at other people's, and I was like, oh wow, like people getting creative with the artwork and stuff. As far as the most creative one, I'm
Mhm.
going to be really like the ones that I've looked at, the ones that are the most creative are typically the ones that have to do with cannabis festivals.
Okay.
Just being honest.
Okay.
The,
Yeah.
most of the ones are more, there's a lot of them that are very business. They'd have like the
Right.
logo, the information, just like my boring first one. Then you have ones that are kind of like the ones that I do. I try to do ones that have, like when we had, if you've been collecting them, each time we've had a guest on, that guest has been featured on the POAP with the
Mhm.
two of us.
Right.
If there wasn't a guest, I put some sort of imagery that had to do with whatever the show was. If we had a
Mhm.
slideshow, it was something from that.
Sure.
Tonight's that we just created, I don't know if anybody actually realized it was a picture of the two of us with the POAP between
Right.
us. So,
Mhm.
it's I try to be a little bit creative with it, and make it interesting. But like some people go all out and actually have like full on mural scenes going on in the thing
Mm.
with the text like buried inside of it. So,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
definitely
Okay.
some creativity out there. That website that I was showing you that I'm going to put up on the Discord, you can go through there.
Mhm.
You can look through all of them. If you go to the very bottom without creating any POAPs, to the very bottom of that first page, there's something that says gallery. It says poap.gallery. Click on that.
Okay.
You can look through everybody else's. As nosy as you
Okay.
want. They're public. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's fun because it gives you creative ideas. Like, oh, I love what this person did. Maybe I could do something like
Okay. Thank you.
that. Of course. Do we have any other questions?
Right.
Well, we are coming up at the top of the hour. I hope it was
I
an
think
enjoyable show
for sure. I think you explained it so well. Everybody just kind of really gets it. And I think good walkthrough, and hope everybody kind of understands, more the value. And there's other types of apps like this, but this is a great platform to use.
Thank you. And next week, it's going to be exciting. Next week, we're going to be going gaming NFTs, talk a little bit more about that. And our good friend Miggy, he'll be back for a visit. And he's
Awesome.
going to talk to us
Awesome.
about some of the cool gaming NFT things that are going on right now. And
Yeah, he knows a lot about it. He's really involved into the event space and the gaming area. So maybe we can talk about more wearables and more gaming and stuff that we can do, with these NFTs or some of our crypto. Maybe it's, I took a lot of Ethereum back in the day and I just put it on apps. I put it on just testing stuff out and playing with different
mm.
things. And obviously, that was worth $4 trillion now, and I wasted it, but um, it's fine. It was fun. I learned.
Right?
Right.
It's like you got the usability and the playtime out of it. So that's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to have fun. So thank you
Absolutely.
everybody for showing up this week. We really appreciate time and coming out, and
We'll see you next week. And don't forget, claim your POAPs.
awesome. City. Take care, guys.
Thank you.